Plaintiff Elizabeth Tyler says the defendant was her good friend, and they were so close that the defendant even beat up Elizabeth's abusive boyfriend after she saw him hit Elizabeth. Elizabeth is suing her former friend today for unpaid loans. Defendant Vanessa Witt says Elizabeth was so obsessed with her that people often thought they were intimately involved. Vanessa insists she never asked the plaintiff for any money and therefore denies owing her.
Tell me what happened.
I met the defendant in 2005 and we worked together, during which time I was in an abusive relationship, and so she had formerly been in one, and we kind of formed a close bond over that. In our time knowing each other, we got really close to the point where she had her wisdom teeth pulled and came and stayed with me for a week, and I took care of her. And later down the road, I was still in that same abusive relationship, and she witnessed him punch me in the face and got into an altercation, a physical altercation with him, and kicked the crap out of him on my behalf. You know, stood up for me when I wasn't standing up for myself. Later down the road, she got into a relationship which became physically abusive. She called me in the middle of the night to change her locks. You know, so
You came and kicked the crap out of her?
Well, no, I advised her to call the police, but she didn't want to go that route. So we changed her locks. And in April of 2010, she called me and wanted to separate from that relationship, the same relationship. And she was also about to be evicted from her apartment.
Okay, before you get to the loan, let me allow her to give some background, ma'am.
First of all, Your Honor, she's kind of obsessed with me. Like she said, we were pretty close and we were cool, but like when she would get drunk, she would confide into me her lesbian tendencies. We were really, really close. That's how we were. But yeah, your lesbian tendencies, and you know it. Don't act like you don't. You're crazy. Like every time we would get drunk, she would do a donkey punch.
Hold on.
Me right in my breast. She would donkey punch him. I'm like, are you just trying to cop a feel? She would do it all the time to where I had to beg her on my own birthday not to do it. And then instead she decided that every time she walked by me, she would hit me in the butt. And like she said, I did when her boyfriend hit her.
Who gave the impression that means she's lesbian?
Yeah.
What gives you that impression? Because
she would tell me she would want to be with women all the time.
Gotcha.
It got so bad that her entire family was joking around. Her coworkers were joking around. Everybody was joking around talking about, that's your girlfriend, that's your girlfriend. Her own aunties were like, where's your girlfriend at? Isn't she here? Where is she? Because they were so under the impression that we were a couple.
Okay.
And it's just not.
It's not?
No, no.
Right. When did y'all break up?
We broke up because I got a new job. Yeah, we broke up. Yeah, she wishes
now,
not
give us
ever.
some background on your friendship over the years and whether she was there for you.
She was there for me. Like I said, we were always.
As she says.
We were always there for each other. You know, like I could call her up in the middle of the night, like she said, and I'd be upset about something. She would be there. She could call me up.
You go over and whoop her man?
Well, we were hanging out for her birthday, and she was gonna take me home, and her man thought she was too drunk to actually drive home, so he was wasted himself, and he got mad and pulled the car in the middle of the street and turned off the keys and hit her. And the minute I saw him hit her, I went off from the back seat and started going off on him. She drove back up to the house, and he got out the car and pulled me out, and we were going at it to where her sister and her sister's husband at the time came running outside and had to pull us apart. So I was just like, you're not gonna put your hands on my friend. That's my friend. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and see a friend of mine get hit like I used to get hit. That's not okay. So I just was
Good. I'm not an advocate of violence, but I'm an advocate of self-defense. And in that case, it's called defense of others, which is allowable as a form of self-defense under certain circumstances.
Well, I knew she wouldn't defend herself, and she would just let him keep treating her the way he was treating her that night. And so I was like, if you're not going to defend yourself, I am, because I'm not going to sit here and watch this happen.
Good. Well, you need to give lessons. There's a lot of women that probably need to know that they can defend themselves or have a friend of theirs who is with them help defend them. Nonetheless, anything else before we get to the loans?
I just want to say that as far as the lesbian joke goes between my family, it's because I was paying for everything for her, and they called me her sugar mama.
Because you wanted to play Captain Save. I didn't ask you for anything. I asked for nothing.
She wanted to play Captain Save. What?
I'm not going to finish, you know.
Go ahead.
So in April of 2010, she called me and gave me her sob story of about to be evicted and wanted to get away from this relationship, didn't have any other family or friends that could help her or put her up, And so I offered to, help her move down to Vancouver where I lived and loan her the money to move and help her get on her feet and get stable again. So in June, I went and picked her up, and I rented a U-Haul to move her stuff, and we looked for a place of living for her. At which point, we decided it was probably more financially beneficial if I was going to loan her the money anyway to get a place that we just move in together, because then the loan would be smaller in the long run. She did get a job in July, and in July we moved into an apartment together, but in August she was fired from that job. And in October, I lost my job, and on the day that I lost my job, she told me that she had an offer to go back to Seattle, at which point, because I lost my job, I didn't want to get stuck since our lease was through July of 2011. And she insisted, no, I'm going to be making enough money, I'll be able to start paying you back sooner than January, and I don't want to sign off the lease. Because at that point, I did have 3 people that could have moved in, but all of her stuff was there. So the plan was that she was going to start paying the loan back in January, if not sooner. The weekend after Thanksgiving, she decided that she wasn't going to start being able to start paying on the loan.
Has she paid any on the loan?
No, she hasn't.
All right, let me hear from you, ma'am, regarding this loan.
First of all, when I called her, I called to talk to my friend. I didn't ask her for anything. First words out of her mouth was, oh, you should come to Vancouver. I've got all this school money I'm doing nothing with. If you're cool with it, I'll come get you. You'll be around friends who care about you and blah, 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 blah.
Did she loan you money?
No, she didn't. I'm sorry, but she came up, she got my stuff. First of all, she rented her brother's van.
Did she give you
No,
money?
she never gave me money.
Right.
She spent
Do you
money,
have any
yes.
evidence that you gave
Yes,
her
I
money?
paid for things for her, and I have a lot of evidence.
What is it that you
I
have?
also have a promissory note from her that she
That's the most
signed.
important
Judge,
thing.
can
That's
I
all
speak
we
on that? The only reason I signed that was because when I told her I was leaving, I was leaving for a train, and like we said, I was going to stay on the lease, but then I found out her cousin moved in, and her freeloading cousin was there, and I wasn't going to pay for her
That's not true.
freeloading
My
cousin.
cousin didn't move in.
It was very true, and that's why this all started, was because I stood up for myself. Because if you stand up to Liz, then you don't let her control you.
Why did you sign it?
Because I was trying to leave and catch a train, and the minute she was going to make me miss my train, and I had to work to start the next day. And I was worried. No, I was worried that my stuff was still there, and she was going to do something to my stuff if I didn't sign it.
Did she tell you she would?
Huh?
Did she tell you she would do something?
She came in a very threatening manner. She didn't say that. No, she didn't say that. No, she didn't say that.
All right.
But she turned around and
destroyed your things yet?
She packed it all up. I don't even know if something's missing.
Has she destroyed your things yet?
Not as far as I know,
So all your thoughts were wrong.
No.
So therefore,
she changed the locks, so my thoughts were really right. They were right.
That's not what we're here for today. We're here for this loan, and you signed saying you would do it. Now you're trying to back away, saying that you only signed under duress. You say the duress was you thought she might, maybe, imagined that she would hurt your property. None of the things you thought would happen.
Well, yeah, she
never
changed the locks on me when I was still on the lease.
That has nothing to do with the loan. What is wrong with you?
Because then I had no access to my stuff.
Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Whatever. You're a liar and you know it.
You are a crazy.
You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Whatever.
You know
Somebody
you're into
tried to
women.
do something
You didn't try
for
to
you.
do.
Play the victim.
No, you're trying to play the victim.
Whatever.
You
I
act
hope
like
you're
somebody
happy with
really
your
cares.
life.
I am, because
great.
you're out of it.
Yeah,
You're crazy and
that's
psycho.
Great. Yes.